because I know that all of you guys have like considered entrepreneurship at one point or another, or have mentioned like wanting to do something else. What has stopped you from doing it, or why do you feel like it may not work for you?
Okay.
Like why you haven't made the jump yet?
That's better phrase. Understand.
For me, okay, because that's going to be an individual thing. For me personally, the reason why, because I feel as though I'm still entrepreneur would be my goal. To have my own business, run my own business. But I feel why, and this goes back to also, which might be a faith thing or depending on how people are. I feel like it hasn't been for me yet. It hasn't happened because it wasn't. Like, for me, I feel like everything happens for a reason. I feel like where I'm working at now, I didn't plan to be working at this long. But I feel like me doing it was exactly what was supposed to happen, because now I learned how to run a business with 75 employees. I learned how to control food costs, labor costs, or like I run a whole $6.5 million business. That's not mine. So now whenever it does happen to me have my own, like a lot of people, when they first become entrepreneurs, they don't even know how to run a business on that scale. But for me, I'm going to go into it with like so much experience that I didn't even have to pay for at school, because I was getting paid to learn how to run a $6.5 million business. So whenever I do go into it, I'll be prepared. So as far as why I haven't just jumped into it goes from, for one, how I was raised. I feel as though, and I'm not just going to put it on that because I've been grown now for a long time, but it also goes from safety, security. Like, I feel like a lot of people who may become entrepreneurs do it because it's like that might be the only option, just like somebody might become a hustler because your back is against the wall. That's your only option. So sometimes whenever you get in a job and you start making good money, it's bad at the same time because you get super duper comfortable. Yeah, and you get complacent. So it's like, why would I leave making whatever I'm making now to go start back from scratch? So some of the steps that I'm taking now to move forward so I can just make that leap is like minimizing my monthly bills, like trying to get rid of anything extra. So then my bare minimum bills are just rent, phone bill, and that's it. Because when I get down to that, then okay, I don't need that big salary, if that makes sense. So I'll say my main thing to stop me, I mean, that's not even holding me back. The phase now that I'm at is in this me taking the transition from working 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur, is minimizing my monthly bills. And then once I do that, I feel like, okay, I can say, even if I don't just leave 9 to 5, then at least I don't have to do it on the scale that I'm doing it now. Like, it's not even a 9 to 5 that I work, because really you're supposed to do a minimum of 10 hours, but being a general manager, the work never freaking stops. So even if once I minimize my bills, I can go work a little job and make way less now, but it'll free me up a lot of time. That could be my transition, like going from being on the top and then you go to the middle, and then I could not need to work at all and then do whatever I choose to put my foot into.
As far as like entrepreneurship and things like that, I feel like what I really want to do, I would have to get my master's for it. I will have to dedicate time into learning more and, getting that degree, because for what I want to do, I feel like you have to have certain accolades. You have to have you have to have that certificate to be able to do with what I want to do. But I feel like the reason why I felt like I couldn't really contribute all my time to it is because I've always kind of been working. I've always wanted that instant gratification. Yeah. I've always wanted to have my own. I've always wanted to be out the house. I've always wanted to do all of these things. But right now, I feel like it's gotten in the way of what I truly want to do, that instant gratification of wanting to be able to take those trips, wanting to be able to spend my money on, frivolous things. At this point in my life, I want to be able to pull back on a lot of those things so I can put it towards my future. So basically, I've always felt uncomfortable with the job I have, and I feel like it's because it's not where I'm meant to be. I've always felt uncomfortable. Even though I may be good at it, I may excel at it, it's just not what I feel like in my heart is what I need to be doing. So I feel like me getting that degree would be able to push me towards being able to set my own hours, being able to schedule appointments at my leisure.
Which is what you want.
Which is what I want in the end. I want a sense of purpose, and I feel like with the job that I'm doing, I've always felt tension, and it's because I'm not meant to stay in this place. So for me, I feel like it's all about in timing, and it took me a lot of time to kind of be able to wrap my mind around letting go of that instant gratification and saying, okay, this is where I see myself 10 years from now. How am I going to get there? So it took me some time. It took maturity for me to get to that level versus just jumping out there and doing it. Because if I had just jumped out there and do it, I don't think I would have done it right. So it took certain circumstances and certain experiences for me to come to this mindset that I really want it, and this is what I want to do, and I'm certain of it, because I feel like I feel like I can be a perfectionist in that way, where I have to be absolutely certain in order to follow through on it, or I'll just dwindle off into something else. So I've gotten to that point. I know what I want, and it took me some time to get there, so that way I know it's worth it.
What is it that you are trying to do, if you don't mind me asking?
So, well, basically, I want to be a therapist. Like, I want to specialize in mental health and in counseling. So, in order for me to do that, I do have to kind of do the workload. I have to do the clinicals. I have to go for my master's, or possibly even my doctorate to be able to do it. I want to be able to set my own hours and deal with people. I don't want to have just an overwhelming amount, but I want to have a sense of purpose and understanding, the complexities of mental illness, or helping people work through certain things that have traumatized them. So since I've always felt like I'm a great listener, and that's something that I always felt like I have a connection with or to, that's really what I see myself focusing on. Even though it may take a little bit longer, I may not have that instant gratification I will with this job that I'm working now. I'm willing to sacrifice that in order to have what I want in the long run, even though it may take a little bit longer.
Okay.
Maybe some of our listeners will be your first clients.
Maybe people you're doing this podcast with, because I don't know what's happening.
This is therapy for me personally.
I'm going to say, I enjoy just being able to just talk.
Yeah, this is therapy, because I noticed how argumentative I was on the first
after watching it?
Man. Yeah, after watching it, I was like, damn, I'm super duper argumentative. And I remember, my cousins say that all the time. My mother, Amber, says that. And I was like, but until you see yourself, I was like, damn, I like to argue. Who's next, Bree?
I'll go. Jumping into being an entrepreneur versus a traditional 9-to-5, for me, kind of is summed up as uncertainty and fear. I'm a person who craves structure, routines, schedules. I wake up, do the same thing every day. That brings me joy. I'm okay with it. And for some people, that drives them crazy. And I think I'm kind of also at a space where I just genuinely just feel lost when it comes to work. Maybe because my background in the traditional upbringing is go to school, go to college, graduate, get a job, have a family, move on. And granted, I've always wanted to be an educator. I've always had an inclination towards children and teaching them and just being around them. I'm also now year 5, almost 6 post-college working in education, but I've also been working with kids for half of my life. I'm the resident babysitter when it comes to my family. I'm the one who spent their summers watching other people's kids. My very first job was at a summer camp. I've just always been around kids, and to do that for almost 15 years is just I'm tired. I'm done. Yeah. I'm burning out.
I've outgrown it.
But because that's all I've done, and I've looked at my resume and my experiences, it's all education related. It's just I don't even know how to jump ship or to look at other things. And it's yes, I spent a stint of time looking at fashion merchandising and interior design, but I guess it didn't pull me in the same way that education did. And it's kind of always just kind of been just an interest. And I've always been the person that's into like shiny things. So it's like I like accessories. I like anything that's gold. Like give me the watches, give me the necklaces, give me the earrings. I'm here for it. So it's just like, well, maybe if I like pour into the things that I actually like, maybe it'll bring me some type of revenue. But I think like to your point, I like the instant gratification. I know I'm getting paid every 2 weeks. I know what my check looks like. And if it's $1 short, I can tell you that it's short and I want to know why. So it's just like, I'm used to that structure and I'm used to saying like, this is my bill money, this is my play money, this is my savings. And I think that kind of just goes out of the window when you're an entrepreneur. And I also think I may not be as disciplined as those who are like an entrepreneur, because I literally, even though like I work 10 months out of the year, those 2 months where I can do nothing, I look forward to doing nothing.
Yes. Oh,
like I love to just wake up, and if I don't want to get up until 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I can get up and do that. But I think that's the flexibility that I crave that comes from being an entrepreneur. But on the flip side, if I don't do the work, I'm not getting paid, and that scares like the living crap out of me. Like it genuinely
And I
does.
think that's kind of like the horrible thing about it, because I know I'm pretty sure y'all feel the same thing, because now after being in that 9-to-5 world for so long, like the longer that you just don't rip off the Band-Aid, I feel the longer it's like the harder it is gonna be for me in the long run. Yeah,
It's
because
like,
after doing it for so long, now after you get used to this amount of money every 2 weeks, and you're like, oh yeah, you think it's a good thing, but it's so detrimental. I know
it's
for
only
me
detrimental
like,
if you actually know that you don't want to be doing it. So like, if it's something you want to do, then it's just like, all right, cool. This is
it's
what I'm used
fine.
to.
Yeah, but
but
when
if you
like
know
for me,
for a fact that you do not want to be doing that,
horrible.
the longer you wait,
It's
the harder
horrible.
it gets to get out of it.
harder
Yeah.
it is.
But I think that's, like I said, like I just feel lost because a part of me craves the structure and I want the 9-to-5. I like to go into my job knowing there's a checklist and these are the things that I need to accomplish for the day. Versus like with entrepreneurship, it's just like you don't know.
Those things exist. Though.
I mean, they're
But the
they're
thing is, I think
checklists,
you have
but
to
I
create
think
them. You just have to create them. You have to create your routine. You have to create your
But the thing
checklist.
is, I think you don't even. At least I know for me wanting to be an entrepreneur is not even in the sake of wanting even like the free time or not even or wanting like the My thing is just more so doing what I want to do and what I feel my purpose is.
yeah.
Like so, like I would even if I had a 9-to-5 job that I felt was more on the line of my purpose or me doing what I want to do, I would be fine with it. I would be completely fine with
Yeah.
it. Like I would be fine with that. Once it's
Why isn't his phone on vibrate?
But I mean, I understand like oh
yeah,
my
we
goodness.
recorded.
What he says about like finding your purpose. I thought children and teaching was my purpose, and it may still be my purpose. And I think that's why I just need to kind of like step back and do something else. And if I miss it, then go back into it.
then you know exactly.
But I don't feel as though I really know what my purpose is. And like, this may sound dramatic and I'm sorry for the people who may have been in these situations or may understand, but like
awesome.
Being in education and being where I work, I literally have felt like I've been in an abusive relationship for like the last 3 years. Where it's just like,
Damn.
no, like that's why I was like,
That's how
I
feel
literally
about
feel as though I have to like mentally prepare to walk into the building because I don't know if I'm going to be cursed out. I don't know if I need to break up a fight. I don't know if somebody's parent is going to be here causing chaos. I don't know if my kids are going to show up. I don't know if the lesson's going to go over. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to be reacted to at all.
Yeah.
So it's just like to be in a state where I'm consistently living that, it's scary and it's crazy, and it's just like I don't want to be in a situation where I'm so tense and high strung at work where I come home and I take it out on him. And because like that's
But I
kind
think
of
that's more so though not even a job thing. That's more so like of a maybe of a of an inner thing, I would say, because I remember even having the conversation with myself, like, dang, I don't want to have to work this much. But even if you become an entrepreneur, I feel, and you're just a full-time entrepreneur, my workload is going to be just
work.
as it is
It
now.
might be more work.
Yeah, if not more. So even if you're saying you don't want to have to, like, think, even if you become an entrepreneur, depending on what it is, you're going to still be crazy situations are going to come up even more stressful. Having a 9-to-5 mate is really less stressful than being an entrepreneur.
Maybe.
Because having a 9-to-5,
is.
like
I mean,
you
it
said,
could be.
they're just a to-do
But I
list.
think-
Yeah, there's just a to-do list. And once you do that
I
list,
think
if somebody
within-
else set that list out
That's
for you,
it.
Yeah.
like when you're an entrepreneur, you
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
put the
That's
thought
easy.
into,
It's
what do I need
harder.
to do to grow this?
Yeah.
Or what do I need to do right now
It's
to
harder.
finish the
Yeah.
task
It's
that I need to get
harder.
done? You
You
have
have
to
to be
create
disciplined.
everything. It's on
I
you.
guess- harder.
I think
It's
it's,
harder
also
in
just
every
depending
aspect.
on like the person. I feel as though my job emotionally drains me, like all the time. So I think with being an entrepreneur, I think that'll bring me more joy, and I think that's something I need right now because I have been feeling like a zombie for at least last year that I've known you. So for like at least 3 years. And it's just like I'm tired. I love kids, but I'm tired. I need a break. I need a break.
yes.
Yeah, it's time for you to venture off into something else.
Yeah.
And
Well,
beans.
It may
Yes.
still have something to do
It's
with
me.
kids, but
Okay.
it may not be what
So
you've been doing.
for me, I feel like I've always been an entrepreneur. When I was fucking 12, 13, like me and my brother, we started off like airbrushing and painting people's sneakers, putting fabric on people's sneakers, like doing all this kind of stuff to make money. So I think when I was like 13, I might have made 13, 14, I might have made my first $1,000. So it's just like, oh shit, like this is like, you can just do whatever. Like, literally, you can come up with anything. Like, we just kind of like, yeah, we like that, artistic shit and creative shit. But it's like, oh, damn, like, you can wake up and decide, oh, shit, I want to make money doing this. And you can do it and make money doing it. It's just, like, even just everything. So then, like, when I kind of got older and I moved out and stuff, I kind of veered away from it because I was doing photography. And I started to dislike doing photography because I was doing things in photography that I didn't like just for money, so that I could make money to survive. Mm-hmm. So I was taking portraits and shit of people, and that's like not what I wanted to do. So I kind of got out of it, and I ended up getting caught in the cycle of working. And the more money you make, the more you add bills
harder it is to let
and
it
start
go,
buying shit. And it's like, damn, I gotta keep fucking working to keep this shit up.
Yep.
So I ended up like working a job, but the main job I had, I bartended for like 6 years at the I don't care if I say it, the Fox. I bartended there for like 6 years, and every day it's like, this shit is like a game. Every day I gotta come in here and I gotta be this character that's like cool with all these people and like, these people that I don't really fuck with. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean?
exhausting,
It's like
right?
every day I gotta like, when I'm ready, time to go to work. I gotta put on these clothes. I get into character for the day. That shit is tiring. Every day to put on this act. Every day to go to work. And I tried so many different times to like get out of it, and start businesses. Shit, Drew, I've probably even started fucking 20 LLCs, like just off of ideas, just to get out of that shit. I'm like, all right, I came with this idea. I'm gonna buy the equipment to do it, and I just might not follow through because, like, fuck, that instant gratification isn't there because I'm already making so much money over here. I don't necessarily have to do anything else. Like, I was comfortable. Shit, I was living at the point where I had my own apartment, I had a truck, I had a motorcycle. I could take off whenever I wanted to. I was traveling the world. Literally, I would wake up and be like, oh shit, I want to go somewhere. All right, I'm about to call work. I'm not pulling up for a month. I'm about to go travel. I could literally do anything I wanted to do. But it came to the point where I was like, all right, am I going to keep putting money over being happy? So it's like, like I hear people, and I know it's not easy to do because, like I said, I was doing that shit for 6 years, really just trying to get out. And I never really found a way out of it to be like, oh, this is where I'm at and I'm going to quit. I literally had to force myself to kind of do some shit where I knew I would get fired. So I ended up going to work and just like cussing out a manager when I knew I probably shouldn't have. And ended up getting fired. And that was really the only way I really knew how to get out of it. Because it's like, fuck, how do I get out of making all of this money? And I was making like really good money. So like I said, I could do whatever I wanted to do. It was me trying to find a way to get out of that. But it's just like, even with her, I'm sure she can tell, like, she started her, like, bracelet business. And I don't know if she can tell, but like, I am really good at being able to, like, sell shit to people. And, like, I know how to make money. Like, it literally does not matter what it is. I can turn it into some dollars, some kind of way. And I've always been that kind of way because
I water to fish.
Yeah, shit. I don't like the cap that jobs give me. Like, it's like, all right, yeah, I got this job, I'm in this position. You're telling me how much money I can make every single day. Like, if I'm working a job and I'm making $10 an hour, the most money I can make is $80 a day before taxes. No matter how hard I go at this job, no matter... Shit, I can fuck off all day and I'm going to still make the same amount of money. But that's what makes it hard, because it's like, all right, I don't have to go really hard. I can come to this shit and get really comfortable. I can come, no, this shit easy. I don't really got to do that much today. But then also... On the flip side of it, like I said, because I just go hard at stuff, like at that job, I was probably the top sales every single night. So it's like, and that's what made me, I used to work at Whole Foods too, and I quit Whole Foods day after Thanksgiving. The reason I quit day after Thanksgiving is because they came in and said, oh shit, we made the store $1 million in one day. So it's like, damn, I was here for like 12 hours, and you guys paid me $11 an hour. And that's what I made for the day. You guys made $1 million, and I rang up thousands of dollars worth of shit for you guys to sell, and I made what I made before taxes. So it's just like, for me, that's never been what I wanted, just because I don't want ceilings for myself. I can, whatever I do is completely up to me. I like that control of however hard I go today, and whatever sales I bring to myself or how much money I make is because I did that. And if it's not good enough for what I want, it's like, all right, you need to go harder. You need to make more money. You didn't make the money because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So, but I don't know. It's just, for me, it's just in me. And I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like I said, I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always wanted it. And it's just in me to do. Like, working a job, I was very miserable every day. It's just like, and at some point, I had to get to the point where it's like, all right, the money isn't worth it. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut back and change my lifestyle a little bit until I can get back to that point. But when I get back to that point, this next time, it's going to be because I'm making the money the way that I want to make it. Like, I might not always wake up to happiness, like, because I don't have the same amount of money or be able to do the same kind of things that I used to do every day or when I wanted to do them. But it's just like, all right, next time I get there, it's going to be because I got there how I wanted to get there. Like, no matter how long it takes.